And the learning outcomes for this lesson is to describe the advantage and use of bolted connection. So, kailan tayo gumagamit ng bolted connection? We're also going to illustrate the types of bolted connection. Ano ba yung mga ginagamit natin sa bolted connection? And we are also going to identify 2015 provisions to calculate the strength of bolted connection. We're also going to consider bearing and shearing strength in calculating the strength of bolted connection. So, first of all, bolted connections are connections that uses threaded fasteners. So, gumagamit tayo ng threaded fastener. No? So, I think all of you already seen what a bolt looks like. Alam nyo naman kung ano yung itsura ng bolt, no? So basically, kung meron kang bolt, meron po yung tinatawag na thread, no? Yung parang umiikot, yung pinagpapasukan natin ng nut, yun po yung tinatawag na thread. So the common types of bolt that we are using, commonly used thread. Gumagamit po yan ng thread. So this type of connection, this is a threaded connection. Threaded connection. So kung threaded connection yan, pagka po threaded, gumagamit tayo ng nut na tinatawag. So yung nut, yun yung pangsikip natin sa likod, yung pinanghihigpit, no? Para po, basically, kapag hinihigpitan natin yung nut, may nagka-clamp. Kinaklamp niya yung metal, no? Parang yun yung naghihigpit dun sa metal. So we have the nut at the back. So yung nut na yon, yun yung umiikot siya dun sa thread. So commonly, threaded connection po yan. We also have bolted connection that is unthreaded. This connection is actually unthreaded connection. For unthreaded, ang tawag naman natin in this type of connection, this is what we call rivets or yung riveted connection. For riveted connection, we are using specialized power tools para pagpasok po ng bolt, nako-close na siya agad. Hindi mo na kailangan ng nut. No? At the same time, again, wala itong thread. There's no thread in this rivets. No? In terms of building naman, the types of connection in the building, we have what we call the shear connection. I think we discussed this when we are discussing shear on beams. So pag sinabi nating shear connection, basically this is the connection of girder to secondary beam. Connection of girders to secondary beam, ang tawag natin doon shear connection. So when it comes to shear connection, only the web is connected. Pag sinabi nating shear connection. On the other hand, pagka naman po tinawag natin na pag naman sinabi natin na moment connection, this is moment connection. In order for the connection to be a moment connection, dapat i-connect din po natin yung flange. Again, the flange should be connected. The flange should be connected. Para po yung ating connection maging siyang moment connection. Because the flange actually handles the moment. Yung flange po yung nag-handle ng moment. No? So in order for our connection to be a moment connection, dapat i-connect din natin yung flanges. So the advantages of bolted connection is that it requires less manpower. Bakit po? Because when it comes to welding, yung nagkakabit po ng weld is actually a skilled worker. Ang tawag doon, welder. No? But when it comes to bolted connection, halos lahat naman alam magkabit ng weld. So hindi mo kailangan ng skill. Also, you don't need welding machine. Hindi mo kailangan ng welding machine. So cheaper equipment. No? Mas cheaper yung equipment. But in totality, mas mura pa rin po si welding compared kay bolt. Kasi kay bolt, kailangan pa natin ng bolt saka ng plate. At the same time, walang fire hazard. Welding is a fire hazard. Kasi nga po, kapag nagwe-welding tayo, basically what happens is nagkakaroon ng parang may tumatalsik, no? So, at the same time, mas madali po siyang i-disassemble. This is actually the greatest advantage of bolted connection. The greatest advantage is that when it comes to bolt, it's much easier to remove. Mas madali po siyang tanggalin. In comparison with welding connection, kapag sa welded, kapag nakakonect na yan, para po matanggal yung weld, puputulin mo na yung member. But for bolted, tatanggalin mo lang yung bolt. Buo pa rin yung member, na? So mas madali po siyang i-disassemble when it comes to bolted connection. So when it comes to connection, there are actually two types of connection. We also have the lap connection or lap joint. Kapag lap joint, there are actually single failure plane, no? So meron lang siyang single failure plane. So, anong ibig sabihin ng single failure plane? Ibig sabihin, yung bolt natin is only connected at a single plane. Ito. So, kung masisira man yung bolt, masisira siya mahati siya sa dalawa. Dalawa lang. Dalawa lang. There's only single failure plane. The other type of connection is what we call the butt joint. Kapag butt joint, dalawa po yung plane of connection. There's two plane of connection or two failure plane. Kaya kapag butt joint, basically, this is what we call double shear. Pag sinabi nating double shear, we have to multiply the area of the bolt by 2, no? So, para makuha natin yung area ng bolt, area of the bolt will be equal to twice times pi over 4, diameter of the bolt squared. Pero kapag ka naman po lap joint, kapag single shear lang, the area of the bolt is just equal to pi over 4, diameter of the bolt squared. Kasi nga single shear lang kapag lap joint, na? Basically, you just have to count how many failure plane does a connection have. Kung ilan po yung failure plane niya. Kapag dalawa, dalawa. Kapag tatlo, tatlo, na? But commonly hanggang dalawa lang tayo, na? There are different types of failure mode, and the most common one is actually the shearing of the bolt. Shearing of bolt. So, pag nag-shear off yung bolt, basically, ang mangyayari, mahati yung bolt sa dalawa. So, ang tawag dyan, shearing of bolts. Pag napunit yung bolt, shearing of bolt yan. Another type of failure is basically the rupture of the plate or tensile rupture. Tensile rupture. Pag nasira yung plate natin, tensile rupture yan. We also have what we call the yielding of the bolt hole. So, kapag masyadong malakas yung stress na dinadala ng bolt, tapos basically nagpo-produce siya ng normal stress, nakadiin siya dun sa plate, what could happen is that pwede pong magkaroon ng deformation. Ang tawag dyan, hole deformation. If you could notice, lumaki yung butas, no? Lumaki yung butas, ibig sabihin, nagkaroon ng hole deformation or lumuwag po yung butas ng bolt. That failure is caused by what we call bearing. Nangyari po yan because of the bearing failure. Nagkaroon ng bearing failure. The other type of failure is what we call tear-off. Ito. Ang tawag natin dito, shear tear-off. Shear tear-off is also caused by bearing stress. Pero anong nangyayari po kapag meron tayong bearing, basically yung bolt natin dumidiin dun sa plate, ang mangyayari kapag nagkaroon ng shear tear-off, mapupunit yung plate. Lalabas yung plate, no? Lalabas yung bolt. So, ang tawag dyan, shear tear-off. Another type of failure, pwede rin naman pong mapunit yung ating bolt into two. Ito po yung double shear. Double shear of bolts. Double shear of bolts. So, dun muna tayo sa first type of failure. The first type of failure when it comes to bolted connection is the shearing of bolts. So, according to the code, to calculate the strength, the nominal strength of tension and shear strength of bolts, you just have to multiply the nominal strength for shearing or tension to the area of the bolt. Imumultiply lang daw natin yung tension strength at saka shear strength sa area ng bolt para makuha natin yung nominal capacity. But take note of this, kapag ka po kapag single shear, the area of the bolt is actually equal to pi over 4 diameter squared. Pero kapag double shear, the area of the bolt will be twice the area. 2 times pi over 4 diameter of the bolt squared. Ha? Kapag double shear. And then we just apply a phi factor of 0.75 just like in tensile rupture. And then omega will be 2.0. So how do we calculate for FNB? FNB depends on the bolt that you use. So kung ang ginamit mong bolt is actually A307, meron tayong tinatawag na A307, A325, saka A490. If what you use is A307 bolts, then the nominal shear strength is 165. Kapag ka naman po A325, meron tayong dalawang type ng A325. Number one is what we call when the bolts are not excluded. Pag sinabi nating not excluded, this is a double negative, no? So double negative, ibig sabihin included. When the bolts are not when the threads are not excluded. So anong tsura nun? Ganito po, no? So alam natin ito yung threads, this is your threads. So sabi niya when the threads are not excluded, not excluded. So ibig sabihin po nun included. So kung included yung threads, kung ito po yung failure plane, if this is your failure plane, kasama sa failure plane yung threads. Kung napasama dun sa failure plane yung threads, mas mahina yung shearing strength mo. So mapapansin nyo, yung shearing strength is only 372. But when the threads are excluded, ibig sabihin excluded. So ito yun, no? Threads are excluded, hindi kasama. So, ibig sabihin, kung ito po yung failure plane natin, if this is your failure plane, yung pagkasira niya, walang threads. Hindi kasama yung threads sa failure plane. So, not excluded. So, kapag excluded, mas mataas yung strength. You can see 457, no? Mas mataas yung strength niya. So, ganun din po sa 490, meron tayo dyan not excluded, ibig sabihin included. And then we also have excluded, which is hindi kasama. Are we clear with excluded, not excluded? Are we clear on this? Is this clear? Clear po tayo dito? Yes. Okay. So, if that is clear, let's try to apply what we've learned in this example. So, sabi niya, determine the shear strength of the connection based on bolt shear, no? Based on bolt shear. So, it's actually very straightforward when we are solving this type of problem. So, FNV or RN is equal to FNB times area ng bolt, which is equal to FNB natin, threads not excluded, so that's 372. So 372 multiply natin sa area ng bolt, that is pi over 4. The bolt is 20 mm, so 20 squared. Paki-divide ng 1,000 to make it kilonewton. Ilan? Ilan po? This is 116.867 kilonewton per bolt. So if I want to calculate for the strength of the connection, PRN connection, you just have to multiply the number of bolts to the RN per bolt. So times the phi factor. Ang phi factor natin 0.75. And then how many bolts do we have? 1 2 3 4. So apat na bolt. So times 4. RN ng bolt, that is 116.867. So ilan po ito? Strength ng connection? $350.601. Yeah, ganun lang siya kadali. No? Ganun lang siya kadali. So next is a 16 mm thick tension plate is connected by a 6.25 splice plate. So this time, double shear po ito. As mapapansin nyo, we have two plane of failures. So kapag meron kang two plane of failures, double shear ka, no? So double shear. If we look at the top view, dalawa yung bolt, ayan. Okay? So dalawa yung bolt. So calculate muna natin Rn ng bolt. Rn ng bolt will be FNB times area ng bolt. Take note, ang area ng bolt natin will be twice the area kasi double shear. So 2 times pi over 4 times 16 squared. Ilan to? Ilan? 183.77 kilonewton per volt. So to solve for the VRN connection, how many volts should I consider? Ilang volts po? 8 ba o 4 lang? How many volts should I consider for the whole connection? 4 lang, no? Because sa left side, 4 lang po 'yan. So dapat po 4 lang. So 4 times the phi factor pala muna. Don't forget the phi factor. So the phi factor is 0.75. 0.75 times 183.77 times the number of volt, which is 4. Ilan? 551.31 kilonewton. Okay. So now let's move on to the next type of failure. Ang next type of failure natin is bearing strength. When we talk about bearing strength, basically, bearing strength is the ito po yung failure because yung bolt natin dumidiin sa plate. Or in technical terms, our plate or our bolt is actually producing a normal stress onto the plate, papunta dun sa plate, no? So, because our bolt is actually producing a normal stress onto the plate, dumidiin po siya dun sa plate, so nagkakaroon tayo ng two types of failure. The first type of failure is what we call the bearing deformation. Ang ibig sabihin ng bearing deformation, nagkakaroon ng hole deformation, no? Nagkakaroon ng hole deformation. Lumuluwag yung hole. That's one type of failure. The other type of failure is what we call tear out. Yung tear out, ito yung sinabi ko kanina, napupunit yung ating plate. Napupunit yung plate on the direction of the shear load. Direction ng bolt natin, dun sa direction ng bolt. So it could be a tear out or a bearing deformation. And according to the code, to calculate for the bearing strength capacity, Rn is equal to 1.2 LC T times Fu. 1.2 LC T times Fu. So LC is the clear distance in the direction of the force between the edge of the hole and the edge of the adjacent hole. So ano yung LC? It's actually the edge of the hole coming from the edge of the hole to the edge of the plate. Ito yung LC, no? Yan po yung LC natin. So how do we calculate for LC? To calculate for LC, basically, magkaiba yung LC for edge hole, for edge, saka for inner hole. For edge hole, that will be the edge distance from the face of the plate, face ng plate up to the center of the hole. Yan yung edge length. So para makuha yung LC is the clear distance LC. LC will be the edge distance minus kalahati ng hole. Bakit kalahati lang? Kasi if we think about it, kalahati lang naman yung nabawas dito, h over 2. Kalahati lang, no? So, how do we calculate for the hole diameter? The hole diameter will be plus 2 if the diameter of the bolt is less than 24, or it will be plus 3 if the diameter of the bolt is greater than or equal to 24. So kapag yung diameter daw ng bolt is greater than or equal to 24, mag-a-add tayo ng plus 3. On the other hand, kapag less than 24, plus 2. If you still remember, this is actually our requirement for tension member. Ito po yung nominal hole diameter. Ito yung nominal hole diameter. Take note, di ba, when we are calculating for the net area for tension member, ang formula natin doon, plus 4 saka plus 5. Kasi po, nag-a-add tayo ng plus 2 because we are actually solving for the net area, according yan kay code. When you are solving for the net area, magdadagdag ka raw ng plus 2. Eh dahil hindi naman tayo nagsosolve ng net area, we just need the diameter of the hole, then we are going to use the nominal hole diameter. So yung nominal hole diameter natin, plus 2 saka plus 3. Okay? For the inner hole, on the other hand, yung inner hole natin, to solve for LC, this LC, ito, so that will be the spacing of the hole minus kalahati sa left, kalahati sa right. So basically, that is the spacing minus the hole diameter. Spacing minus the hole diameter. Yan yung LC natin. Na? The minimum spacing between the bolt hole is actually 2 and 2/3 of the diameter of the bolt. Or basically, that's 8/3, no? 8/3 ng diameter ng bolt. Okay, so marunong na tayo mag-calculate ng LC. If we know how to calculate LC, we can now calculate for the bearing strength capacity. So the thickness is the thickness of the plate, thickness of plate. And FU is the strength of plate. Take note, hindi na po bolt yung pinag-uusapan dito. Pag sinabing bearing strength, it's actually the plate. Should that be less than or equal to 2.4, this is the failure for tear out. Yung failure naman po dito, this is the failure for yielding or yung hole deformation. So the yielding, that is 2.4 dt times FU. D is the diameter of the bolt, diameter of bolt. And thickness is the thickness of the plate. FU is the ultimate strength of the plate. Take note, what we are considering is the strength of the plate. Again, what we are considering is the strength of the plate. So the phi factor is the same as the bolt shear, 0.75 and 2.0. 0.75 for LRFD and 2.0 for allowable stress design. Okay, so let's try to apply all those concepts in this problem, no? So a channel shown is attached to a 12 mm gusset plate with 6 22 mm diameter bolts. Determine the design shear strength considering bolt shear and allowable bearing strength and the governing design strength considering shear and bearing. So una muna tayo, what is the design shear strength? What is the design shear strength considering bolt shear? So, based on our formula earlier, medyo madali lang naman po yung bolt shear, Rn. Kunin natin yung Rn ng bolt. So, Rn ng bolt, that is FNB times area ng bolt. So, that is FNB po natin, 372. So, that is 372 times area ng bolt, which is pi over 4, 22 squared. Which will give us, what is the Rn ng bolt? Strength of the bolt is 141.41 kilonewton per bolt. So if I want to determine the strength of the connection considering the bolt shear, phi Rn connection, I just have to multiply the phi factor, 0.75, times the Rn ng bolt, 141.41, times the number of bolt. Ilan yung bolt? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. What's the strength of the connection? Strength of connection is 636.35. For letter B, kunin naman natin yung allowable bearing strength. So letter B, that is allowable bearing strength. So to calculate for the allowable bearing strength, we have to identify the hole diameter. We have 22 mm bolt, so we have to plus 2, di ba? So 22 mm diameter bolt plus 2, that will be 24 mm hole. 24 mm hole diameter. We also have to identify the edge distance. Edge distance is 30 millimeter. Take note, there are two types of failure that could happen in shear tear out. Dalawa po yung types of failure natin. Pwede mangyari yan sa edge A, pwede rin siya mangyari sa edge B. So sa edge A, mangyayari yan if ang nangyari, you have the channel or channel tear out. Ibig sabihin, kapag yung nasira will be the channel, yung edge po natin na makukonsider will be edge A. Ito yung LC natin, edge A. Pero kapag ang nasira, yung gusset plate, yung nasa likod, yung gusset plate sa likod, ang kailangan mo i-consider will be edge B. Ito yung gusset plate, gusset tear out. So, paano natin malalaman kung yung ang magti-tear out will be the gusset or the channel? Basically, we have to consider which one is the weaker element. Kung sino yung mas weaker, paano malalaman kung sino mas mahina? Of course, that will be the thinner. Kung sino yung mas manipis, at the same time, siya po yung mas mababa yung LC. Mas mababa yung LC. Ibig sabihin, mas mababa yung clear distance. Lower LC or thinner. Na? Or basically, sino yung mas mahina? In this case, we have 12 mm thick channel, 12 mm din yung gusset plate dahil 12 mm din yung gusset. So, we are going to use kahit ano. Pwede pong, we could use A, pwede rin yung B kasi parehas lang naman, no? Parehas 30 mm, parehas 12 mm. So, we could choose anyone, no? So, 30 mm po yung ating gagamitin. For the spacing of the bolt, that is equal to 64 mm. So, iba po yung consideration when it comes to inner bolt as well as the consideration for the edge bolt. So, edge muna tayo. For the edge bolt, ang LC natin for the edge bolt will be the edge length minus h over 2, which will be 30 minus 24 over 2, that is equal to 18 mm. Solving for Rn, for bearing strength, that is, the bearing strength is 1.2 LC TFU, less than or equal to 2.4 DTFU. So Rn will be equal to 1.2 of LC. Ang LC natin is 18. The thickness of the plate is 12 mm. And then yung FU or the ultimate strength is now equal to 836 po yung steel natin. So gamit tayo ng 400 mm. Less than or equal to 2.4. Diameter of the bolt is 22. Thickness of the plate is 12 times FU, which is 400. What's the lower limit? Lower limit. 103.68 kilonewton, less than or equal to the upper limit, that is 253.44. So, of course, yung mas mababa po yung mag-govern, 103.68 kilonewton. So, that is for the edge bolt. Take note, sa edge bolt pa lang yan. Let's consider naman yung inner bolt. So, for the inner bolt, para makuha natin yung LC, LC will be S minus H. Ang S natin, the spacing of the bolt, 64, minus H, which is 24, that will give us 40 mm. So, to calculate for Rn, Rn is 1.2 LCT times FU, less than or equal to 2.4 DT FU. So, 1.2 of LC, LC is 40, The thickness is 12 mm. FU is FU is 400. Less than or equal to 2.4. D is 22. Thickness is 12. FU is 400. So what is Rn? Lower limit? 230.4. Less than or equal to, parehas lang yan, so 253.44. So ang governing natin for the edge bolt, that is 230.44. 230.4 kilonewton per volt. Ngayon, para makuha natin yung bearing strength of the connection, Rn connection, that is equal to the number of edge bolt, number of edge times Rn ng edge, plus the number of inner bolt, plus the Rn ng inner. So, ilan po yung edge bolt natin? Dalawang edge bolt. So, dalawang edge bolt, strength ng edge bolt, 103.68. Plus, strength ng inner bolt, o ilang number ng inner bolt? 4. Strength ng inner bolt, that is 230.4. Makukuha ko na yung Rn ng connection. What's our Rn? 1128.96 kilonewton. Solving for R allowable, that is Rn over omega. So that is 1128.96 divided by 2.0. So ilan yan? 564.48. Okay, 564.48. So that's the allowable considering the bearing. Ngayon, consider naman natin yung letter C. So letter C, consider naman natin yung what is the design strength considering shear and bearing. So pagsamahin na natin yung shear sa yung bearing. So kunin natin yung mga capacity sa edge bolt saka sa inner bolt. So for the edge bolt, ang strength niya for shear, Rn shear, ang shear natin sa edge bolt, yung na-calculate natin sa una, the shear is 141.41, no? So that's 141.41. For bearing, on the other hand, for edge bolt, for bearing, that is equal to 103.68. For the inner bolt, yung shear natin is the same kasi equal lang naman yung shear ng bolt, 141.41. Pero yung bearing niya iba. Yung bearing ng inner bolt is 230.4. So, we determine which one is the governing based on the two design strength. So, governing for edge, that is 141.41. Governing for inner, are governing for our inner bolt, that is equal to, ang governing pala sa edge bolt, 103, no? Governing for the edge bolt, yung mas mababa. 103.68. For the inner bolt, it's actually 141.41. Solving for the strength of the connection, Rn connection, that is equal to the number of edge. Ilan po yung edge bolt natin? Dalawa. So ang governing design na natin for edge bolt, dalawa. Governing strength, 103.68. Plus 4 na inner bolt, ang governing strength, 141. 141.41. What's the strength of the connection? Strength of the connection, that is 773. Solving for the VRN, that's 0.75 times 773. So, ilan? 579.75. Any question about this problem? Question? Okay. So, when we have tension that is applied at the centroid of the bolt, just like this one, let's say this is a force that is applied at a tension at a certain at the centroid of the bolt, then that is what we call concentric connection. So, ibig sabihin, meron po tayong concentric connection when yung load natin is actually applied at the centroid. And based on the direction of the load here, yung load po natin, the component of the load actually has tension as well as shearing. So, meron po siyang tension, F tension, as well as shearing. So, in this type of connection, both the tension and the shearing is actually acting on the bolt. So, nagkakaroon po tayo ng tension and shearing. So, in that case, let's say if this is your bolt, yung bolt natin nakaka-experience ng two types of forces, which is number one, you have the tension and you also have the shearing. Tension and shearing force. So, hindi po sila nag-a-add, no? Because tension and shearing are a separate action. Tension is what causes the bolt to elongate. On the other hand, yung shearing naman, ito yung nagko-cause ng snap or gusto niyang maputol yung bolt. So they are actually two different action. Hindi po natin sila kukuhanan ng resultant. Na? Hindi natin sila kukunan ng resultant. So we are going to treat them separately. However, how do we calculate them? No? And what are the instances na nagkakaroon tayo ng tension? Nagkakaroon din po tayo ng tension when we have an eccentricity that is actually eccentricity from the plane of connection of the bolt. So if our force is actually applied at an eccentric distance from the plane of connection, so this is your plane of connection. Plane of connection, then the tendency is that this force will actually produce a moment that is actually perpendicular. The moment is perpendicular to the bolts. If the moment is perpendicular to the bolts, ang nangyayari po sa bolt, nagkakaroon siya ng tension, no? Nagkakaroon siya ng tension and the other bolts will have compression. So, again, if you have a force that is applied at an eccentric distance from the plane of connection, what happens is it produces a moment. Nagpo-produce ng moment that is perpendicular to the bolt, and that action produces tension in the bolt. Nagpo-produce po siya ng tension. So, when we have moment that is perpendicular to the bolt, meron tayong moment that is perpendicular to the bolt, we can divide yung contribution po ng action. I-divide natin yung contribution. We have the shear load. For the shear load, basically, if this is your bolt, and you have an applied load P, you just have to divide. I-divide lang po natin yung applied load to the number of bolts to determine the shear load. So F shear, or the shear that is being experienced by the bolt, will be the applied load P divided by the number of bolt N, P over N. And then the next one, you have the moment. For the moment that is actually perpendicular to the bolt, if this is our bolt connection, and the moment is actually applied about the x-axis. If the moment is applied about the x-axis, ito yung moment natin, then to calculate for the tension of the bolt, F tension, it's actually equal to the force, which is PE, times Y divided by summation ng Y squared. PEY over summation ng Y squared. So, Y is actually the distance. It's actually the distance from the centroid of the bolt group to the bolt in question. So ang kinukuha lang po natin dito, when the moment is actually about the y-axis or about the x-axis, this is the formula when the moment is about the x-axis. When the moment is about the x-axis, then yung kukunin nating distance is actually y. We just get the distance y of the bolt. Let's say this is y1 and this is y2. And then you just take the summation of y squared. Kukunin lang natin yung summation ng y squared. y3, y4. Na? You just get the summation of y squared. On the other hand, if the moment is actually about the y-axis, let's say this is our bolt hole, and the moment is about the y-axis, let's say this one, that is the moment about y-axis, then the F tension will be equal to, F tension is equal to PE times X divided by summation ng X squared. If the moment is about the y-axis, in this case, no? Moment about y-axis. If the moment is about y-axis, then you get the distances on x, summation of x squared. On the other hand, if the moment is about x-axis, ibig sabihin po perpendicular yung distance, ang kukunin mo summation ng y squared. Basically, you get the distance that is parallel to the direction of the moment, na? Parallel to the direction of the moment. Once you get the shear and the tension, you are going to treat them separately. Hindi po ito katulad nung sa weld that we are going to, kasi yung sa weld, parehas silang shear. Kaya ang kinukuha natin yung resultant. But this time, since one is shear and the other is tension, hindi natin kukunin yung resultant. We are going to treat them separately. So, after you calculate for the shear and the tension, basically, you can now check for the bearing and the shearing failure using the shear load. I-check natin yung bearing as well as the bearing and shear. I-check na natin yung bearing and shear. Na? So, how do we calculate the capacity for tension? The capacity for tension with corresponding shear according to the code is F prime of NT, no? So the capacity of tension bolt with corresponding shear is F prime of NT times area of the bolt. Whereas F prime of NT is the tension of the bolt that is actually modified to include the effects of shearing stress, no? So F prime of NT is actually 1.3 FNT minus FNT over phi FNV times FV, na? So FNT over phi FNB times FB less than or equal to FNT, na? So FNT is actually the strength and tension. Ito po yung strength and tension. FNB is the strength in shear, which can be found in the table. Ito po yung nasa table natin. Ito yung FNT, nominal tensile strength. Ito yung FNB for threaded fasteners, na? So we have iba-iba po yung FNT saka FNB for A307, A305, A490, na? If we have a different stress, we have different strength for tension and shearing. On the other hand, to calculate for FB is the required shear stress, or basically that's the F shear, the shearing of the bolt divided by the area of the bolt. Basically, it's the shear load shear load in the bolt divided by the area of bolt. Okay? So that's FD. And don't forget, for LRFD, we use phi factor. For omega, for allowable stress, gamit po tayo omega. Naka-divide siya dapat ng omega. Na? So that's how we calculate for the strength for tension. Take note, we are still going to use the same table. Basically, if the threads are not excluded from the shear plane, it means not excluded from the shear planes, ibig sabihin included. On the other hand, kapag excluded, hindi po kasama yung threads. Okay? So, let's try to apply that concept in this example. No? A connection with 819 mm bolt is subjected to eccentric loads at 68 mm from the face of the column flange. Assuming that T to the beam connection is adequate, determine the design tensile strength of the connection considering combined shear and tension. So, hanapin daw po natin yung strength ng basically connection. Okay? So first, hanapin muna natin yung shear load per bolt. Since we have a dead load and live load, we are going to use LRFD. So using LRFD, kunin ko po yung factored loading, that is 1.2 ng dead plus 1.6 of live. Ilan to? 1.2 dead plus 1.6 live. 252 kilonewton. And then to calculate for the shear load, basically yung shear load natin, if you have an applied load of 252, basically all of the loads will resist equally when it comes to shear. Magre-resist lang po siya equally. So to calculate for the F shear, we just have to divide PU with the number of bolts. So that's 252 divided by number of bolts, which is 8. How much is the shearing load per bolt? Shear load per bolt is 31.5 kilonewton per bolt. (31.5 kilonewton per bolt). And then, to apply the tension in the bolt, para po makuha natin yung tension, this is the shear, no? Meron na tayong shear. Ang wala, tension. To calculate for the tension, we calculate for the moment. So, ang moment natin, alam natin, is actually about the x-axis. So, kung about the x-axis, our formula for tension is equal to P times E multiplied by Y divided by summation ng Y squared. Summation of Y squared. And the moment is actually P times E, which is, ang PU natin is 252. So that's 252 multiply natin by 68. Ilan ta? To 52 times 68. 17,136 kilonewton millimeter. And let's say this is bolt 1, bolt 2, bolt 3, bolt 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Lagyan ko lang na numbering yung bolt, na? So, to calculate for the summation of y squared, kunin lang natin yung mga distance nila from the centroid of the bolt. I don't have to locate the centroid kasi symmetrical naman siya. If the arrangement is symmetrical, then basically, the centroid is at the center. Centroid is at the center. So, kunin ko lang yung distances ng y squared. So, for bolt number 1, that is 40 plus 80. So, that's 120. So, that's 120 for bolt number 1. And bolt number 2. For bolt 3 and bolt 4, that is 40. Bolt 5 and bolt 6, that is 40. Bolt 7 and bolt 8, that's 120. So, basically, kunin lang natin yung distance, no? So bolt 1 and 2, that is 120. So 120 squared plus 120 squared. Yan po yung bolt 1 saka bolt 2. For bolt 3, that is 40. Kasi from the center, 40 lang yung 3 and 4. So 40 squared plus 40 squared. Bolt 5 and 6, that is 40 squared plus 40 squared. Plus bolt 7 and 8, that's 120 squared plus 120 squared. What is summation ng y squared? 64,000. 64,000 millimeters squared. And then solving for the tension, F tension, that is PE. Ang PE natin basically, anyway, before we solve for the tension, we have to locate the critical bolt. And take note, when it comes to tension, the critical bolt will be the farthest from the centroid. It will be the farthest from centroid. So the farthest from the centroid is actually bolt 1, bolt 2, bolt 7, and bolt 8. Bolt 1, 2, 7, 8. So you just pick any bolt, that will be the critical bolt. No? So in that case, PE is actually equal to 17136 times the distance from the centroid to bolt 1, 2, 7, 8. Ang distance niya is actually 120. No? 120. So multiply by 120 divided by y squared, 64,000. Ilan po yung tension? Tension is 32.13 kilonewton per volt. 32.13 kilonewton per volt. So solving for 32.13 kilonewton per volt. Na? So that's our tension. If we try to locate the tension nung number bolt 3, 4, 5, 6, papalitan mo lang yung distance y. So let's say for example, for bolt 3, 4, 5, and 6, papalitan lang natin yung distance y. So F tension will be equal to 17136. Then the distance y from the centroid of the bolt, that is 40 for bolt 3, 4, 5, 6. Divided by j, that is, or summation ng y squared, 64,000. How much is the tension sa bolt 3, 4, 5, 6? 10.71. So, as you can see, mas mataas yung tension. Ito po yung critical tension. Kasi ito po yung mas malayo sa centroid. So, the farther the bolt to the centroid, the higher will be the tension load. No? Para po makuha yung summation ng y squared, basically, basically, if ito yung centroid natin, no? So, gawin kong color blue. Ito yung centroid. Kukunin mo lang yung distance from the centroid. So, ang distance niya sa centroid for bolt 1, di ba ang distance na to, 120? 40 plus 80 squared. And then for bolt number 2, 120 rin. So kaya po siya ganito. Bolt 1, ito yung bolt 1, 120. Bolt 2, bolt 3, 40. Kasi ito yung 40. Distance from the centroid, bolt 4, bolt 5, bolt 6, bolt 7, and then bolt 8. Are we clear with how to calculate summation ng y squared? Kinuha ko lang yung distance from the centroid. Okay. Okay, now, since we already have the tension bolt, meron na rin tayong shearing. So, we are now going to check yung mga limit state. First, check muna natin yung shearing of bolts. So, check for the shearing of bolts. check for the shearing of bolts. So ang shearing natin, we are using A325 threads excluded. So 325 threads excluded, that's 620 and 457, no? So FNB is equal to 620, and then uh FNT is 620. FNT FNT is 620, and then FNV is actually 457 megapascal. 620 and 457. So to check the shearing of the bolt, alam natin that's Rn ng bolt for shear is equal to FNV times area ng bolt. So that is 457 times area of the bolt, that is pi over 4, 19 squared. So what's Rn for the bolt? The strength of the bolt of a single bolt in terms of shear divided by 1,000 to make it kilonewton. 129.57 kilonewton. Calculating for VRN, that is 0.75 of 129.57. This is equal to 97.18 kilonewton per bolt. So this is the capacity of our bolt for shearing. Capacity na po ng bolt natin yan. This is the capacity of bolt for shearing, and yung shear natin is only 31.5. So if we want to calculate for the DC ratio, demand over capacity ratio for shear, that is equal to DC. Ang demand natin is, ang shear natin sa bolt, 31.5. So that is 31.5 divided by the capacity, which is 97.18. What is the DC ratio for shear? Shearing of bolts, that is 0.32. 0.32. That is for shear. Shear pa lang po ng bolt yan, no? Ngayon, check naman natin yung bearing. Check for the bearing. Check for bearing of the section. So alam natin that the capacity for bearing is actually equal to 1.2 LC TFU less than or equal to 2.4 DT FU. So since alam natin that the critical for bearing is actually the edge bolt. Take note, critical for bearing is edge bolt. Critical for bearing, that will be the edge bolt. That is because if we calculate for the LC for edge bolt, that is equal to 40. Kunin pala muna natin yung hole diameter. No? Hole diameter is 19 plus 2, that is 21. Hole diameter. So 40 minus 21, that is equal to 19. Yung LC for edge. For inner, ang LC natin will be the spacing, which is, hindi pala to 21. LC is actually, ang LC natin for edge bolt is edge length minus kalahati ng hole, H over 2. For bearing, that is edge length minus H over 2. So, kunin pala muna natin to. Kunin natin LC. LC is equal to edge length. Edge length natin is 40 minus 21 over 2. Ilan to? Ilan yung LC natin for edge bolt? Yeah, that's 29.5. 29.5. So for inner bolt, on the other hand, for inner, ang LC natin will be spacing S minus H. So that is spacing 80 minus H. 80 minus 20, 21. 80 minus 21, that is 59. So, dito pa lang sa LC, makikita na natin that this is actually critical. Dahil mas maliit po yung LC ng edge bolt, so we are going to consider yung edge bolt. So, solving for the bearing strength of edge bolt, that is equal to 1.2 LC, that is 29.5, times thickness. Thickness is 14, so 14 times FU, 400. For 830 steel, less than or equal to 2.4 D. The diameter of the bolt is 19 times thickness, 14 times FU, 400. What's the lower limit? Lower limit muna. Lower limit. (198.24 kilonewton per less than or equal to). Upper limit, that is 255.36. So our capacity for bearing, that is 198.24. Solving for VRN, that is 0.75 of 198.24, that is 148.148.68. Okay, uh, solving for the DC ratio for bearing, demand over capacity ratio. The demand is actually, ang maximum natin, maximum shear is 31.5, so that's the demand. So 31.5 divided by the capacity, 148.68. Ilan? 0.21. So 0.21 is actually less than 1.0, so this is safe. So basically, we already checked the capacity of the bolt for bearing, no? Check na natin yung capacity ng bolt for bearing as well as for shearing. Ngayon, check naman natin for tension. So to solve for tension, we solve for F prime of NT. F prime of NT will be based on our code earlier. That is this one, 1.3 FNT minus FNT over phi FNB FV, no? So check for tension. So that is 1.3 FNT minus FNB, FNT over phi FNB times FB, no? Times FB. So this should be less than or equal to FNT. Substituting, ang FNT natin is actually 620. So 1.3 ng 620 minus 620 over phi 0.75 times FNB, which is ang FNB natin is 457 times FB. FB is the shear load sa bolt, so that is F shear divided by area ng bolt, so that is area ng bolt. Ang shear natin is 31.5 times 1,000 to make it megapascal over area ng bolt pi over 4, 19 squared. Ano yung FB? FB is equal to 111.10 megapascal. So that's how you calculate for the FB, no? Basically, you just calculate for the shearing of the bolt over the area of the bolt, no? So substituting that to solve for f prime of nt, that's 1110.1, 111.10, 111.10. Solving for f prime of nt, ilan po ito? This is 605.03 megapascal. 605.03 megapascal. And then to calculate for the capacity of tension, VRN will be 0.75 times f prime of nt times the area of the bolt, So VRN for tension, that is 0.75 of f prime of nt, 605.03 times area of the bolt, which is pi over 4, that is 19 squared. What is the capacity for tension? 128.66 kilonewton. Then to check for the demand over capacity ratio, ang DC ratio natin, the demand is actually the tension that we calculated. Ang tension natin 32.13. So 32.13 divided by the capacity, which is 128.66. What is the DC ratio? 0.25. So this 0.25 is less than 1.0, so that is safe. Any question? That's how you calculate, that's how you check the adequacy of a connection if it has a combined shearing and tension. As you can see, kung gagawin natin ng summary yung ginawa natin, basically you just find the shearing, hinanap mo rin yung tension load. After calculating for the tension load, kinalculate mo yung capacity. To calculate for the capacity, we check muna yung shear ng bolt, we check for the shearing of the bolt as well as the bearing of the bolt, and then you calculate for the capacity for tension. The capacity for tension is actually dependent dun sa FV, ano? Sa shearing din. And then you can now check the capacity for tension. So, chinek mo lahat ng pwedeng failure, shearing, bearing, and tension. Any question? Question? Move on to the next topic. For the next topic, we are now going to combine torsion and moment. So, it's actually different from earlier, no? Kasi kanina, yung moment natin perpendicular to the bolt, sa bolt group. Perpendicular sa bolt. But this time, the force is actually parallel to the group. So that means, if you have an applied load, kung meron po tayong applied load P, yung moment niya is now parallel to the area of the bolt. So that means, ang napoproduce po na force will be torsion. Napoproduce na force will be torsion. And just like in the weld, ito parehas po nung sa weld, just like in the weld, basically, the force applied will be the contribution or the component of the direct shear load, direct shear, plus the torsional shear. For the direct shear, to calculate for the contribution of the direct shear, we could take the component ng P. So meron tayong component sa PY, meron din tayong component sa PX. So to solve for the direct load, ang direct load po natin for I will be using the same same variable na ginamit natin sa weld, no? So we have FDX. So FDX, that will be PX divided by the number of bolt. So FDY will be equal to the PY divided by number of bolt. So that's the direct load coming from the direct shear. So, and the direction of the direct load will be depends on the direction of the load. Depends on the direction of load. So yung FDX and FDY. On the other hand, the force due to the torsion, we could get the component of the torsion. So kung yung torsion is actually going clockwise, again, yung component po ng forces should be going clockwise. Parang sa weld lang din. So kung going clockwise, dapat for this bolt, it will be going to the right and then downward. This one going to the left and then downward. This is left and then upward, and then to the right, and then upward. Nakuha? So, that is the component of the torsional shear. So, this is now FTX saka FTY. So, to solve for FTX and FTY, ang FTX natin, kunin natin yung component, no? So, FTX is equal to PE. Kapag X component yung sinosolve mo, it will be PEY over J. PEY over J. On the other hand, if ang sinosolve naman natin is FTY, that will be equal to PEX over J. PX over J. So yung X and Y are the distance from the centroid of the bolt group. So centroid of the bolt group, just like this one. Ito po yung X and ito yung Y. To the bolt in consideration. So ang J natin or the polar moment of inertia is equal to the summation of x squared plus y squared. Summation of x squared plus y squared. For the polar moment of inertia when it comes to the bolt in torsion, no? Torsional shear. And then in order to determine what is the critical bolt, for the critical bolt, we are going to follow yung the same formula for weld. So for the critical bolt, we are going to follow the two criteria. Criteria 1, it should be the nearest to the line of action. And criteria number 2, it should be the farthest from the centroid. Then, once we determine the direct shear force saka force due to torsion, we can now add, pwede na natin pong i-combine yung contribution ng direct saka ng torsional. So yung X, yung FDX, it's actually FDX, i-add natin sa FTX. And then yung FDY, i-add natin sa FTY. And then we can now get the resultant force. This is your resultant force. The resultant force is the square root of the summation of force along X plus the summation of force along Y squared. No? So that's the resultant force. This is now the maximum shear in the bolt. Ito po yung max shear on bolts. Yan na po yung maximum shear sa bolts. So, to calculate for the bolt shear stress, if you want to calculate for the bolt shear stress, that is the resultant, F resultant, divided by the area ng bolt. That's the bolt shear stress. Okay? So, as you can notice, it's actually similar to the weld, yung formula po natin sa weld. But this time, what we are dealing with are bolts. So parang yung sa weld pero bolts na po tayo. Okay? Let's try to apply this in this example, no? I'm going to enlarge this connection para mas madali. Okay. So first thing to do when you have a bolt group, ito po, combine ano na to, no? Combine bolt and torsion, combine shear and torsion. Combine shear and torsion. So first thing to do, locate the centroid of the bolt. So para mahanap natin yung centroid ng bolts, maglalagay ako ng reference point. So this will be my reference point. So coming from the reference point, alamin natin yung centroid ng bolt. So if I want to locate for x bar, gagamit lang ako ng Barigdon's theorem. So that will be area total, x bar, is equal to summation ng area x. In calculating the centroid of the bolt, we are going to assume that the area of the bolt is equal to 1. Bakit po 1? Because magka-cancel din naman yung area ng bolt. All of the area of the bolt will just cancel out, so mas okay na i-consider mo na area ng bolt is just equal to 1. Na? So for locating the centroid of the bolt, this will be our, for x bar, this is our reference line. Reference line for x bar. Na? So gawin natin, this is bolt 1, bolt 2, bolt 3, bolt 4, and this is bolt 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to locate the centroid, alamin natin, area total, that is 5 bolts times x bar is equal to, what is the distance of bolt 1 from the reference line? Ano yung distance ng bolt 1 to the reference line? Diba? 0, diba? 0 kasi coinciding. So that is bolt 1, 0. Bolt 2, on the other hand, gaano kalayo yung bolt 2 sa reference line? Gaano siya kalayo sa reference line for bolt 2? 75, no? So that is 1, 75. For bolt 3, that is also, the distance from the reference line is also 75. For bolt 4, distance from the reference line is 75 also, no? Bolt 5 is 0. Bolt 5 is 0. So I can now calculate for x bar. Ano po x bar natin? 45 millimeter. I'm also going to locate the y bar. So for y bar, that is area total y bar is equal to summation ng AY. So ang y bar natin, ito po yung reference line for y bar. Reference line for y bar at the same reference point. So area total natin still 5 y bar. For bolt number 1, bolt 1, gaano siya kalayo sa reference line? For bolt 1? In terms of y. That is 175, no? So bolt 1, 175. Bolt 2 is also 175. Bolt 3, that is, gaano kalayo yung bolt 3? That is 75. Bolt 4 is 0. Bolt 5 is also 0. I can now calculate for y bar. Anong y bar natin? 85. 85 millimeter. So, we've already calculated the centroid. Na-calculate na po natin yung centroid, no? So, after calculating the centroid, we can now calculate for J. So, calculating for J, if this is our centroid, let's say our centroid is located at 45. This is 45, and this is 85. 45 and 85. 45, 85. So, J will be, this is the centroid of the bolt. Ito po yung centroid ng bolt. J is equal to the summation of x squared and y squared. So, for x squared, for bolt number 1, bolt 1, bolt 2, bolt 3, bolt 4, and bolt 5. For bolt number 1, gaano siya kalayo sa centroid? Gaano kalayo sa centroid yung bolt 1 in terms of x? Di ba 45? 45 squared. Yung y naman for bolt 1, gaano to kalayo? So this is 85, so that is 90, no? Bolt 1 is 90 from the centroid. That is for bolt 1. Ito yung para sa bolt 1. For bolt number 2, x squared and y squared, for bolt 2, if this is 45, this is 30. And basically, yung bolt number 2 natin, 30 plus 90 squared. So ito yung bolt 2. For bolt 3, ano po yung sa bolt 3? If that is 90, this is 10. This is 10. 10, and this is 30. No? So, for bolt number 3, that is 30 squared plus 10 squared. Bolt 3. For bolt 4, plus bolt 4 naman po, gaano kalayo yung bolt 4 sa centroid? Gaano siya kalayo sa centroid? So, that is 10. So, this is 85, no? 85 squared. X pala muna. X is 30 squared. X is 30 squared plus 30 squared plus 85 squared. That is for bolt 4. For bolt 5, that is 45 squared plus 45 squared plus 85 squared. Yeah, that is how you calculate for J. This is bolt 4 and this is bolt 5. Ano yung J natin? 37,500 millimeter squared. 37,500 millimeter squared. So once we calculated for J and X bar and Y bar, makakalculate na natin contribution due to direct shear load. For direct shear load, wala naman tayong FDX. FDX is equal to 0 because there's no load along X. No load along X. But we have a load along Y. So FDY is equal to PY over N. Ang PY natin, 178. 178 divided by the number of bolt, 5. Ano po yung FDY natin? 35.6 kilonewton per bolt. So, or 35.6 kilonewton. But this time, ano po yung direction niya? The direction is downward. Aligned with the direction of the load. So, the direction is downward. Now, let's calculate the contribution due to torsion. Due to torsion. So, due to torsional load, our FDX, that is PE, pag X, PEY over J. So, wala pa tayong PE. Our PE is equal to the force, 178, times the eccentricity. If the centroid is at 45 po yung centroid, so the eccentricity will be here, no? Ang eccentricity natin is equal to 75 plus 50 plus 200 minus 45. Okay? Eccentricity is 75 plus 50 plus 200 minus 45. What is our torsion? Anong torsion natin? What is the torsion? 49,840 kilonewton millimeter. Kilonewton millimeter. So, to solve for the torsional load, alamin muna natin yung critical bolt. So, if this is bolt 1, bolt 2, bolt 3, bolt 4, bolt 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what is the critical bolt? Critical bolt. For the critical bolt, criteria 1, that is the nearest to the line of action. Pinakamalapit sa line of action, that is bolt 2, 3, saka 4. Bolt 2, 3, 4. On the other hand, farthest from the centroid, that is bolt number 2. Bolt number 2. Bolt 2. So that means since bolt 2 satisfies both criteria, the critical bolt is bolt number 2. Ang critical po natin, bolt 2. So if bolt 2 is critical, alamin natin yung direction ng shear force. So meron tayong moment that is going clockwise. Ang direction po ng torsional load, ang component niya dapat clockwise din. So going to the right, ito yung FTX, saka growing downward. FTY. Downward saka to the right. That is the contribution of the torsion, no? So we can now solve for the torsional load, FTX. FTX, that is PE, which is 49,840 times Y. Gaano po kalayo yung Y from the centroid? This one? This is 90, no? 90. PEY, 90 over J. Ang J natin is 37,500. What is FTX? (119.62 kilonewton). The direction of the load is downward. Okay, downward. We also hindi pala downward, no? FTX pala tayo. FTX. So FTX is going to the right. FTX going to the right. FTY, on the other hand, FTY is PE X over J. Ang PE natin is 49,840 times X, the distance from the centroid to bolt 2, that is, if this is 45, this is 30, no? Distance is 30. So 30 over J, J is 37,500. What is FTY? (39.87 kilonewton). And that is downward. So to determine the resultant force, lahat po ng same direction i-add natin. So to determine the F resultant, again, F resultant is the square root of FDX plus FTX squared plus FDY plus FTY squared. So that is now the FDX direct shear load, that is 35 FTX, wala tayong FDX, 0. FTX is 119.62 squared plus FDY, which is 35.6. Mag-a-add sila kasi parehas silang downward. They are both going downward, no? FDY saka FTY, 39.87. So what is the resultant shear load? (141.44 kilonewton). 141.44 kilonewton. So if you want to calculate for the bolt shear stress, FB is equal to F resultant over area ng bolt. So that is pi over 4. F resultant po na. F resultant, that is 141.44 times 1,000 to make it Newton over area ng bolt, pi over 4, 30 squared. Ilan? Shear stress? (200.1 megapascal). Okay. So that is the maximum shear stress sa bolt. Let's say for example, dagdagan ko po ng tanong, let's say, calculate calculate the DC ratio if the bolt is 8325 threads excluded. Threads excluded. So calculate natin yung DC ratio. If the bolt is 8325 threads excluded, no? So ito po yung table natin. Basically 8325 threads excluded, that's 457. So gamit tayo ng allowable stress design, use ASD. So calculate natin yung R allowable. R allowable ng bolt, R allowable, that is FNB times area ng bolt over omega. So that is FNB 457 times area ng bolt pi over 4 30 squared times omega 2.0. Ilan po ito? R allowable. Ano po yung allowable strength ng bolt? Divided by 1,000 to make it kilonewton. 161.52 kilonewton. So solving for the DC ratio is the demand. Ang demand po natin yung maximum shear, 141.44 divided by 161.52 as the capacity. Ano pong DC ratio natin? 0.88. So 0.88 is less than 1.0. That is safe. Any question? That is how you deal with connection with shearing as well as torsional load. Combine shear and torsion. Question po? As you can see, parehas lang nung sa weld. Actually, parehas lang siya nung sa weld. We calculate for the centroid, you calculate for the J, polar moment of inertia, you calculate for the contribution and direct shear sa torsional load. And then you calculate for the resultant, then you check for the capacity. Are we clear in this? Clear po ba to? Clear po ba? Okay. So our key takeaways for this discussion for bolted connection is that bolted connection use threaded fasteners to join two elements together at a given joint. No? This type of connection was proven to be economical because it doesn't need skilled worker. Pero in totality, mas mura pa rin po si weld. No? Failure modes are typically observed in bolted connection are bearing and shearing. So basically, bearing failure and shearing failure. That's the common failure modes in bolt connection. Bearing strength, consider shear tear out and member deformation. So shear tear out, that is 1.2 LCTFU. Pagka naman po member deformation, 2.4 DTFU. Okay? For shear strength, considers the presence and absence of threads. So meron tayong threads excluded saka threads included. A combination of shear and tension may occur in bolts when the bolts are applied with eccentricity. So kapag meron tayong eccentricity, kapag tensile strength kapag tension saka shearing, we treat them separately. Pero kapag tension and shear, we treat them separately. So separate po sila. Pero kapag torsion saka shear, kinukuha natin yung resultant. Torsion and shear, nag-a-add to. You get the resultant. Okay? So, magkaiba yung consideration when it comes to combine tension and shear and combine torsion and shear. Okay?